Hey yo, welcome to Parker's Reef. On today's episode, we're going to do a store tour at DeerPark Aquarium and also check out some very special Loooong Fin Clownfish. Alright, thank you for joining me on yet another episode of Parker's Reef. Now, as touched on in the intro, today I'm heading up to DeerPark Aquarium because I did get word that Dave has in 4 fish in total of the very rare and very unique long fin variant of clownfish. Now, these are absolutely latest thing out there. They're the latest trend. Some people absolutely hate them. Some people absolutely love them. Exactly the same with every single new clownfish variety out there. But when I hear of something new in this hobby, particularly something that impacts something as humble as the clownfish, I love to have a look at it and document it and share it with you guys out there. So today, as touched on in the intro, we are going to go up to DeerPark Aquarium. We'll check out the entire store, mainly around the livestock section, see what other coral and fish he has in at the moment, but we'll also mic Dave up and get him to take us through some of the special fish he has in stock. So without any further ado, let's roll the footage. Alright, here we are at DeerPark Aquarium. Now, as you can see, since the last time we were here, Dave has got the sign writing almost finished, and there is absolutely no mistaking this site for anything other than DeerPark Aquarium. But once we head inside, I want to show you something quickly here. He has a bunch of new and used Neptune Apex gear for sale, going very, very cheap, and has a huge range of modules, components, pumps, tridents, you name it. So if you are a Neptune fanboy, do reach out to the team here, which you can see you're playing with one of their new toys there, a microscope, which they're going to use to look at things like dinos and whatnot in the water and see if they can help assess things. Got the little Delua mini frag tank there, or mini reef tank I should call it there. Counter chock-a-block full of glues, test kits, treatments, things like that. There is a Cade desktop nano there, which will be getting set up soon, I believe. And there is another Cade nano here, this one with a full sump, that is currently cycling and might be hosting some of my long-term clownfish. But quickly panning on to Steve Irwin's little paludarium here. I absolutely love this freshwater display. It's full of, I'm pretty sure they're mollies in there, and then just some really easy to keep plants with, of all things, a super cheap Bunnings LED floodlight keeping it all alive. Such a simple system that has so much color and life in it. Absolutely love it. Panning across the rest of the dry room, you can see on the other wall there is heaps of products, from pumps and lights and foods and treatments. Through the middle here, you can see all of the tanks here. This is the Aquaforest Ocean Guard, one of the best tanks out there. Has this beautiful PVC and acrylic sump in there. Looks the absolute bomb. Really, really clean system. That marking on the cabinets is just a protective coating that peels off like a sticker, so it stays nice and fresh. You can see that AF 980 sump in there with the big RO reservoir in there. Super clean looking setup, and if you are wanting to compare against some other display tanks, there is plenty to compare with here, because Dave's got a bunch of Cades on the floor that you can have a look at. This one here, the 1800 Peninsula, is a beautiful system. Just got that real presence about it with its height and layout. If you're after more of a traditional Cade system, not a Peninsula, you can check out this beautiful white system here. And then there's the frag system there, and I will quickly show you one last thing before we jump into the livestock. That's this brand new range of magnetic frag racks here. Rofi, I believe is how you pronounce it. You got obviously different sizes there. These ones are the 16-hole systems. On the other side there, you've got some 8-hole frag racks, and you've even got these single frag racks here, which is super cool if you just want to take a picture of a specific frag in mind. Now, heading into the live room, this is where all the action is taking place. We'll start off with the corals while Dave's busy with some customers. This is the $35 tank, and 3 for $90. You kind of can't go too wrong in here, but there's some really nice SPS frags in here that have just been quietly coloring up a treat. From Monty Caps to green goblins to some encrusting pieces there. You can see a nice green slimer there. Really, really nice pieces to pick through. I like this Rhodactis over here on the side. It's got some crazy nice yellow splotches on it. There's some toxic green Hystrix in there. There's some candy canes. That SPS there has got some real color to it. Could be a PC rainbow perhaps. Down here you've even got some disco morphs in there if that's more your thing. You've got some big chalice pieces that might need a bit of TLC. Again, $35 a piece or 3 for $90. Super, super cheap indeed. Even some fungias. There are some pretty special clownfish in this system some that are a bit more than $35, but we'll talk to Dave about those a bit later. Heading into the next $35 system, there's even more in here, including more clownfish, but again, we'll chat on those later. You got some large, basic colored bubble corals in there. Up the top here, you've got some chalice, you've got some nice candy canes, you've got, let's have a look, these zoas here, you've got some multi-zoas on the single tile, along with some completely overgrown zoa tiles. There is a tile under these ones, believe it or not. There's probably 60 or 70 polyps on that tile for $35, which is crazy. Really nicely grown out tiles of plenty of color, and some more cyanarias and things on the base. There are those clownfish there. Like I said, we will talk to Dave about those in a moment. Let's have a look at these rest of these corals first, and we'll come back to those. On this side, this path here, these 4 tanks are the $60 each, or 3 for $150 systems. And this one's got quite a lot of chalice in it. Now this one in the front right corner, I love that one. The gold in that is just so unique. Really nice colors to it, so a very nice piece. I think someone will snap that up quite quickly. There's quite a few other nice sort of encrusting pieces there. Some nice elegance on the base, including some nice turbinarias that got a little bit of sand settling on them. Another really nice gold chalice. That one there has got quite a unique shape to it. I quite like that one as well. Down here you got a wicked Rhodactis rock there, nice little mandarin sitting on him. Those gold discomorphs, Dave had a few of those rocks in. I managed to snap one of those up myself. That's $60 for the rock, and that one's got a couple on there. Really bright morphs. You got this wicked little wild Zoa rock going on there, and then over into the next $60 system where I often tend to poke around a little bit in here is where some of the SBS is at the moment. Quite like the Millie that's in there at the moment. There's a nice cherry blossom in there. There's a wild piece of fireworks there. That's the purple with orange polyps. Super nice. Got some nice Platygyra, I think it is there, those two. Nice green, pink, and deep blue. Nice contrasting colors and some large encrusting pieces there. Down the bottom, we've got some really nice Lobophilia. That one in the corner, I believe they call them the Iron Man. Super nice. Really nice pieces. Some big gonies in here. Well, that one's been tipped over. I better fix that. But these are not frags by any stretch of the imagination. Over to the other side of the $60 wall, and you've got plenty of, you got some basic Euphilia down the bottom here, some fairly large pieces for the price, to be honest. These are Zoas up the top, I believe, are actually cheaper than that. They're $20 a tile, but all the other pieces in here, including these captive spawned Euphilia up here from the guys up at Interfish. Beautiful pieces. You got some heliofungias, you got some cyanarias down the bottom, and there is even more in the $60 or 3 for $150 pieces. You got plenty of leather corals in here, or soft corals I should say. Some of them got their polyps out, some of them not right at the moment. You know what leathers are like. There's some really nice nano-sized Trachyphilias here with plenty of color in them. I quite like it when they're nice and small like that. You can fit heaps in around each other. I like those gold chalice, quite nice. And then in here, you've actually got 3 or 4 different colors or variants of Cephastria in there. Pick those up on the 3 for $150 deal, and you've got yourself a pretty wicked little assortment there. Some really nice acans. You got what looks like possibly a Bower Banky frag up there. Super nice. Really nice frags in that $60 tank. But we'll jump over to the other side here. Go and fast forward, and we'll have a look at these $120 Euphilias in here. These guys again are a decent size. They're not the frags like we saw in the captive spawn ones. These are wild collected, but they are a large piece when you see the color and size of them. Very good deal indeed, and good assortment of different ones there, so you can make out a garden. There's more of the $20 Zoas up there, but we move into some torch along the top here, and you can see the 2 gold tip or raster tip torch there. Very bright. I quite like the look of those. And we'll head on over to the next $120 system, which has this big wild Zoa rock, got all sorts of bits and pieces on it. I like this little combo piece, the Lobo with the leather growing off the side. It's always something cool about seeing naturally fused sort of pieces like that. I like that big frog spawn. Got some good Scully in there for the price. They're obviously at the cheaper end for Scully, but still quite nice. Some nice blaster at the top, including that one in the top left corner. Special piece indeed. And coming across here, there's some really nice acan in there. This camera angle and the current lights in the shot probably aren't showing them very well, but that piece there in the front center is crazy nice with the different colors on it. There is a super cool Monty in there. That one's one you need to see in person. It's super bright orange with fluoro yellow polyps on it. Have a look at this crazy chalice in the back right there. Plenty of nice pieces indeed. Now panning across over here, you can see this is where some cool pieces are. I got a big Monty cap and a massive green goblin there. It's almost a yellow goblin looking at the color of it. but have a look at these clams that Dave's got in. Nothing crazy fancy about them, but look at the prices, $200 and $250 for some big clams. I know a lot of people have been looking for those, so there's some good options there. Here's some more of the overflow of those $20 Zoas, or you can get 3 for $50, and I think the more you buy, the cheaper they get. Now, some of them have got some varieties of colors, but nothing quite as nice as those pieces down the bottom, including those clams. So head on in and check these clams out in person. As you can see, they're a decent size, not the brightest colors under the sun, but definitely going to leave a little bit of change in your pocket, which is always nice in my opinion. Over here, I know I've said a bit about gold chalice in this episode, but have a look at the size of this piece here. This is obviously the mother colony. There's that big wild Zoa rock there as well, but that gold chalice is pretty crazy. It's got this wild color through it that I really like, and it's a large piece. So a couple of big pieces there if you've got a big gap in your tank to fill. There's also a few scollies, button scollies, standard scollies across the bottom there. Few bits and pieces there if you're looking to fill a gap, but if we head around to the other side of this tank, there's a few treasures over here that I've got to show you guys, because in here there are some of the nice Euphilia in the shop. We've got the 200 or 3 for $500 system. Have a look at some of these hammers up here. I love this gold with the green base in it. You got that nice one there with sort of maroon base of the teal tips, but that green heart with the gold anchors, beautiful piece indeed. Finger takes the focus away from the hammer, so I'll take that off screen. This nice one next to it's super nice. Then you've got a couple of really nice reverse stems up here that, or one reverse stem, one gold, oh then the other reverse stem. Yeah, I thought there was a couple of reverse stems there. Also got a little, I think that's a mini maxi or an adhesive nem in the cup there. Down at the base, you've got a beautiful alveopora there. Nice colors, nice Wilsoni, a nice higher end scolia there, and then you go through some of the premium Cynarias in store, some of those really nice colors and sizes. Very nice pieces indeed. And then onto the final coral system. This is where the ultra high-end treasures are. You get a couple of OG bouncers there just being monitored by the Mandarin Dragonet in there. You've got some Space Invader Pectinia. Look at that Dragonet, he's not going to eat them now. I thought he was going to eat the bubbles on the OG bounce then, which was going to cause all sorts of trouble, but have a look at the Euphilia in here. There's a beautiful gold, in fact there's 2 golds in the back, and then you've got this, dare I say, holy grail. It's a green with a gold edges on the anchors, which is super nice. Quite a unique hammer. Yeah, another solid gold in the back there, gold chalice, beautiful deshi, some more of the Space Invader Pectinias, nice little ultra Rick Garden there, and then we move on to some of the big corals up here, the big high-end pieces, some of the nice torches. You see the nice gold stem with teal tip, some gold tip, this big reverse stem, and that's a toxic reverse stem hammer there. Very contrasty. You can see a couple of variants there, plenty of heads on it. Super nice. Some more reverses and then some golds here. I quite like the way this one just is fighting against the return flow. You can see it's just pushing the flesh away. It's been there for a number of weeks now though, so it hasn't done any harm. And then there's even more of these little adhesive anemones or mini maxis in the cup there. So just to mind you, I've just caught a top eye or top down view of those OG bounce. It's something I don't have in the Dream Reef yet, and I'm going to have to open the wallet at some stage because they are gorgeous. Check out that hammer from the top down. That's a beautiful solid gold. Plenty of nice pieces. And yeah, those Ultra Recordias are about as nice as it gets. But I reckon it's time we mic Dave up and talk about these fish. So Dave, you've got a couple of pairs of some pretty unique clowns, I'll say. Some people love them, some people hate them.
Not for everyone.
Tell us about them.
We have a breeder that's hoping to expand his range, and he's been asking for a while for some long fins. So we have a couple of black and white long fins.
Yeah, beautiful. And these guys do legitimately have long fins. I'll be sure to put some B-roll over so you can get some real high quality DSLR footage of how they look, but they literally are a long fin clown. I assume they're, well, I'm asking whether you know, but I assume they're bred in the same way that other iterations are bred.
They're just selective mutations. They find a desirable trait and they breed that through into multiple fish until they come up with something like this.
Yep. And yeah, they're obviously getting better and better as they refine that long fin gene and get them really extending those fins.
Pectoral fins in particular, you can see all that extra sort of clear fin that's on them.
I was just about to say, it's quite interesting that the majority of the extension is the clear part.
Clear, yeah. I don't know why it happens, but
it is what it is.
Definitely. And as they settle in, they've only been here for a few hours now, so they'll settle in and they'll go nice and jet black as they do settle.
Yep.
Then we've got another pair over here, which is the snowflake variant.
Snowflake long fins in here. Now, both pairs of these have been a custom order, you mentioned, for a local breeder that's been wanting to get their hands on some long fins to try and extend that gene pool.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll get some breeding locally, but if anyone wants it in the meantime, it takes us a few weeks to get them in, but we can custom order them.
Yep. Obviously, like all clownfish variants, when they're new, when they're the latest thing, they go for a pretty penny.
Bit of money. I think these are priced well for what they are.
Yep.
They're $1,600 a pair, so they're not cheap, but I think it's a fair price.
Pretty well in line with, when Platinums came out, then when Snowflakes came out, then, with every sort of
Black Storms was $4,000 a pair.
Exactly, yep. And much like every other iteration of designer clownfish, some people love them, some people hate them. That's something that's never going to change, but it's still cool to see something as humble as the clownfish continually evolving, new iterations coming out, always something different to see with that species.
Right, we still have a few Borbonus Antias in stock. They're starting to get some size to them now. You've got this little sailfin cardinal. It's like a little goldfish for your fish tank. Yeah,
he's a fairly interesting marine fish.
Something we don't see very often. They're only sort of collected from northern Western Australia, and we get 2 or 3 a year. I don't think I've seen them anywhere else.
Yeah, right. What sort of traits do they have? Are they a predator?
They're a nocturnal predator.
Yeah, okay.
But just like a marine comet, they've got quite a small mouth.
Right.
And they just sort of blend in and hover around during the day, like in the old cardinal. And they'll come out and be a bit more active at night time.
Yeah,
but they don't hide away in a cave, which is good. They just sort of just hover in a corner.
Yep. So you can see them. They might not be pacing up and back in front of the tank.
Not as active, but still visible.
Still visible. Super cool.
The Borbonus is slowly getting bigger and bigger. We got them in probably half that size now.
Definitely.
Always unsure when the supply is going to dry up for those. They used to be quite seasonal. This season they've hung around a bit longer, so who knows? We could get another batch. This could be it until December.
And the Borbonus is a fairly solitary Anthea.
Solitary Anthea, a little bit cryptic when you first introduce them, but they do typically go and swim amongst the group of fish.
Yep.
They get a decent size, sort of the 2.5, 3 inch mark.
Yeah, we've seen you've got one over in the far corner.
Yeah,
over there,
he's about full sized.
And he's been around a little bit longer. He was in the display tank for a while
a pet of mine.
So he's sort of shows the size they can get compared to I just say these guys have doubled in size, but
just such an unusual colour and pattern to them.
Definitely.
Great shape as well.
Super unique, and they've got those long sort of tassels on the fins.
Yep. We're trying to get some of the more weird and wonderful stuff in, the predatory stuff, but still keeping it fairly appropriate for the average tank. So we've got some stars and stripes that have just come in like an hour ago, so
they're still sulking
a little bit. Same as the lined rabbit fish. We've got the narrow-lined puffer in there as well.
Yeah, some really different. I'm assuming this guy's the narrow-line puffer.
Narrow-line there, stars and stripes huddling up against the rabbit fish there.
They're trying to settle in, and I'm waving a camera in their face, which isn't helping. But I got to say, that narrow-line puffer, he looks slick.
Looks like he's wearing some pajamas.
Oh, I was going to say a nice pinstripe suit, but sure, pajamas either way. Cool-looking fish. I'm assuming these guys get big.
Similar to most puffers in that family, you're talking 8 to 10 inches, but it's going to take a long time.
Yep, take a long time, but near football size. I mean, you're still talking.
This guy's, again, he's having a bit of a sulk on the sand at the moment, but he's probably already about the 6-7 inch mark. And for those guys to get to his size, it's still going to be about 5 or 6 years away.
Yeah, right. Obviously, are a predator fish, do enjoy things.
They're one of the few animals that eat anemones and things as well. A lot of people put them with soft corals and then find out that their morphs are disappearing over time, and that's because these guys actually have a taste for those. They eat some of the things that most other things don't. Going along with the predator theme, we've got an undulated trigger, one of the more aggressive things you can get. He's got a little clamshell in there he plays with all day.
But yeah, I've literally seen this guy. I mean, it's not that he's never been fed, but he got that clamshell weeks ago, and he still picks it up and throws it around like it's his bone or his chew toy, and almost gets excited as if he thinks there's meat on that clamshell again.
Absolutely stunning colours, especially in the tail.
Yeah, he's got that real yellow and blue line going through him, and he's obviously also going to get pretty big and about as angry as it comes.
Pretty much.
True predator's predator.
Definitely. Still got our blue-faced Scopaz tang. It's got the colours turned on decently at the moment. They sort of come and go almost like a mood ring.
Yeah, I had some B-roll of him before, which he definitely did not have the blue as vibrant then. He's trying to turn it on now when I've got the less desirable camera there, but still such a unique looking fish.
We've got our pride of lions at the moment. So we've got a few volatans, we've got local and imported. We've got a couple of zebras at the back there. And then a little, not so little rhinopius.
Yeah, he's got some really nice colour to him as well. That red, really sort of reddy purple, maroon going on there.
And another one that once they settle into the tank, the colour just really turns on.
Yeah, and this guy's, has he been in there for a couple of hours or a couple of days now? He's still
He
settling
came in yesterday, so he's still settling in, but he's got decent colour considering.
Yeah,
and there's nothing for him to try and blend into.
Yeah. So. I was just thinking that for a fish that's got all these tassels and things that's trying to make him blend into the surroundings, and then he's chosen bright red. But I guess it's probably pretty similar in colour to rock, a coralline algae, and that'd make sense. He'd blend into that pretty well.
We're starting to get a really good supply of shrimp goby pairs.
Yeah.
What we've been doing is we have a shrimp that'll pair up with the different goby species that we have.
Yes.
And then we'll have 2, 3, 4 different types of shrimp goby. So you get to choose which shrimp you want to pair up with them, so you can get the size that you're after, that sort of thing.
Perfect, yeah, because I mean they are often desirable in a nano sense because it's a bit easier to see where they pair up. So sometimes you might not want the
smaller shrimp rather than the monster the size
notice
of your thumb.
one of the pairs you've got over here has a monstrous shrimp in there. It's almost good for eating.
So this guy here.
Yeah.
So this is actually a yellow watchman. He's just got his colours turned off at the moment.
Oh, the shrimp's already out. He's front and centre here.
And then the shrimp itself, like I've got fairly large hands. And
he's definitely got a bit of size to him. Yeah, that's down here in Australia we'd call that yabby size. He's near on eating. Now you've really upset him.
Yep. Got some Carpenters Rat in. They're a smaller size, but still pretty decent. The back of the dorsal fin there just flutters around, and then when they really want to, they can just turn their colours on for a couple of split seconds.
Beautiful.
When they breed, they just get this lightning strikes just flash through them.
Yeah, crazy pretty fish, and not expensive either. They're quite affordable.
A little bit jumpy, so net cover.
Yep.
And their form of aggression is basically peacocking at each other. They'll turn their colours on, make themselves look big and pretty at the person that they're trying to fend away from.
Yep.
Which can just turn the lights on in your tank quite quickly.
Definitely better than taking chunks out of each other.
We also got a pair of twin spot gobies in this week. We tend not to get these guys. They are very difficult to keep weight on. So we're putting large amounts of frozen food in there for them at the moment.
Yeah, nice. They are a tight-knit pair too. I was watching them before and they wouldn't disappear more than a centimetre from each other. They're connected at the hip.
We've got a few more Bangai in. We've been lucky to be getting decent numbers of these guys for the last 6 months. Hopefully that continues as well. And they're a good size too, which is good. We've got a little fine spotted rabbit here. They don't pop up too often. He's got his camo on at the moment, but he goes like just gold.
Yeah, crazy.
Little tiny blue polka dots when he turns them on.
To be honest, even when he's got his camo mode on, he looks cool. He looks like a bit like a bruised banana at the moment, but you can imagine when those sort of brown stripes and spots go away, just how vibrant he's going to be.
Yep. There's also a couple of larger magnificent foxface at the moment, really good at eating bubble algae.
Yep, yep.
And just amazing colours. White is a colour you don't think you want in a tank, and when you've got it, it just pops.
True. Yeah, not a lot comes in white. Now on that beautiful segue to these almost completely white black stormtrooper clownfish, I will point out that those fish we went over then were just some of the highlights from this week's deliveries at DeerPark Aquarium. And as you can tell by these clowns on screen now, there is no shortage of other show-stopping fish in stock, but that will be all we have time for today. Alright guys, there you have it. That is the tour of DeerPark Aquarium with Dave mic'd up taking us through some of his highlights in the fish at the moment. Most importantly on those 2 pair of long fin clownfish. Absolutely not something you see every day of the week, particularly not right at this moment. They are starting to become a little bit more common, but they're still very, very rare and super cool to see in person. So if you are in the area, I do highly recommend you get into DeerPark Aquarium today. As touched on in the video, both of those pairs were pre-orders and have sold. So if you want to see these fish in person, head on in store today day at DeerPark Aquarium. I'll be there all day and be able to show you the rest of the fish and corals that are available, but also give you an opportunity to check out these super cool varieties of clownfish and compare them to see whether it's something you may be interested in the future or not. Now, I will wrap things up there. If you do have any questions, comments, feedback, anything like that at all, please do pop it in the comment section down below. I do personally reply to each and every comment there, so it is the best way to get hold of me. And other than that, guys, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, and yeah, I guess I'll see you next weekend with some all new reefing content. Till next time, guys, stay safe, keep reefing. Cheers, bye.